Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the for mid-June 2024. You have the flowers, and you also have this wild card, and you also have the whip because I always clarify the wild cards. So this is from the Gilded Lenormand. I'll show you those cards in just a second, but the whip can represent beating yourself up for something, kind of like whipping yourself in the back, basically, over something that happened in the past or some sort of situation that happened in your life. So I would definitely release anything where you're like beating yourself up or you're feeling like you're not good enough or whatever the case may be. I would let those things go for sure. Yeah, I think you're about to be thriving. You have this thriving card here. You have this poised card, which is like my favorite card in this deck. It basically says you're about to be very successful. You're about to be lifted up on a pedestal. And so there's like a lot of good stuff already showing up here in this reading. I also feel like you need to like not put yourself down up here with these cards, as in like let's say you have your eye on something, let's also say that you feel that you're not good enough to get it. I feel that these cards are kind of saying like, no, you are good enough to get something. I also feel like you're being guided towards something here, Leo. It's like the universe. Sorry, wrong camera. It's almost like this wild card here. I'll show you if I can. We'll get rid of that. It's the compass in this deck, and it's almost like you're being guided towards something like a gift that's going to be a gift in your life. For some of you, I do feel that this is love. For others, I feel that this is clearly something that you were like born to do. It's weird. I put that star card down in your reading, and I was getting something about like something that you were born to do or something that you're meant to be doing. So for a lot of you, I feel this could have to do kind of with your purpose or something you're meant to do. The whip card, again, I feel like you need to stop beating yourself up for things that you've done or things that have happened. You have the King of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles. I kind of feel like the King of Wands is just you. Yes, I understand that the King of Wands represents Aries, but he also represents fire energy, so I feel like he is you in this reading. And I just feel whenever you show up as yourself, it kind of puts you in a position of power and strength in the reading. I also get like a much more like fearless energy coming off of you here. Like even if you already are pretty fearless, I feel like there's more of a fearless energy coming off of this card. It's like you're more like I feel like you're like at this time right now, I feel you are more willing to take the risks that are going to lead to success, especially like in work or business. I still feel like there's a little bit of this fear about worrying where things are going in life, like worrying about the future. Like this is not one thing to me in your reading, and I'm pretty sure I said this in your last reading as well. I get this fear of like the future, or the fear thing, fearing the way things are going, or fearing that you're not going to be able to take care of yourself, or whatever the case may be. So I would let go of those fears, and I would also say that do what you can with what you got right now. I think that should be the number one rule of life. Like just live in the moment, as cliche as that sounds, and just do what you can today, because you never know what's going to happen. I've been predicting since like 2 years ago now that I think over the next 10 years, by the time we get to 2033, I think a lot of people are going to look back on the last 10 years and they're going to say, oh my God, all I did was worry. I didn't get anything done. So, like, don't be one of those people that's like just worried about nothing for 10 years and didn't do anything. You have the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes a dream work. A lot of teamwork stuff for you showing up in your readings just for months now, Leo. So anything you can do to work on a team is going to be very beneficial, but also it will probably lead to faster success, especially because you have the Two of Pentacles. Whenever I have a reading where it goes from Three of Pentacles to Two of Pentacles, that's kind of like a clue to me as a reader that maybe you're trying to do too much on your own, or you need help, or something like that. With the King of Wands, you have the Eight of Cups. Walking away from things that no longer serve you, probably the worries, the fears, all that other stuff. This is also the only card that has an eclipse on it in the tarot. So, I think by the time we get to like October-ish, you could be noticing, like right now, let me back up and put it this way before I stutter for the next 30 minutes. But it's like right now, I think you're laying a base. I think you're laying this foundation. You're building upon something, or you're building something new. I think by the time we get to October, like the next set of eclipses, pretty much, that you're going to start seeing things building up based off of whatever it is that you're doing. So I hope that makes sense. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, working very hard. I feel like he's just diligently working, right? He has his head down. He is just working on what he can work on that's right in front of him. He's not worried about what his circumstances. He's not worried about what's going on around him. And I kind of feel like that's a little bit of a secret to success for you at this time, Leo. I would say the entire summer, right? Just focus on what you're doing, focus on what you can do, and that's going to lead to the best results. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Fool. The Fool is about taking a leap of faith in a new direction. So I think it would be an amazing time for you to take a leap of faith in new directions or to start something new. This doesn't mean you have to like leave your job or leave your relationship. It just says what new things can you do in those areas of your life, and that's where the success will be. You have this Go the Distance card and this Poised card. If you haven't reached the top yet in whatever it is that you do in your life, I kind of feel like the Go the Distance card and the Poise card together are saying it's time for you to like reach the top. Like she's reaching to this top. Sorry, this camera's reversed, but she's reaching for this top star right there. And it's funny, you have the star as your first card. I feel like this is saying, even if you're about to retire, it's like, is there something you can do to kind of like close it out at the top or to reach the top in some way? And here you go. You have the star right here. So I feel like you are poised. You are ready for success, or you're ready to get some sort of blessing or whatever the star is for you. The star is like having a North Star in your life, having that guiding light, having something that you work towards diligently so that you can be very successful. And, I kind of feel there, like the opportunity exists. So why not do it is what that's saying. You have the Two of Pentacles. I do feel like you're juggling a lot. I do feel like you're very busy at this time. It might be a good time to kind of go back to the drawing board and refocus, I'm feeling, mostly because we go down to the Eight of Wands here. Eight of Wands is quick success, but, the question that's popping into my head for you, Leo, is do you know what makes you successful? And or do you think you know what makes you successful, but do you actually know, right? It's like, it's one thing to say like, oh, this makes me successful. As someone who's worked with a ton of businesses, right, in my day, I still do to this day, from time to time, I can tell you that like many, many business owners, for example, have no freaking clue. They might think they know. They might say, oh, we do this thing that makes us all this money, but when you crunch the numbers, it really doesn't, right? It's something totally different, or it's something else. And so I kind of feel that here with the Two of Pentacles. It's like saying, have you looked at the numbers, the actual results you're getting? It's like sometimes you do this and you find like something easier is actually the thing that's much more successful. So, I would like crunch the numbers. You have the Temperance card. Temperance is about, I feel like you're completely turning your situation around here. We go up to the Five of Wands, up to the Judgment card. Five of Wands is a card of conflict and competition, but I really like the Five of Wands personally. I really like the fives in the tarot in general. Like most of the fives are considered to be negative, but to me, they all have very easy solutions. And the Five of Wands, those people on the card, they're really learning how to fight. It's a card of like learning through conflict. So it really isn't that bad of a card. Here you go. With the star, you have you, the sun, showing up here. So definitely major success. Whenever you show up as yourself, that puts you in a position of power and strength. But the sun is also like shining its light on you, bringing you blessings. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Death card. Yeah, there's some sort of change. We kind of just talked about it. I feel like the change is happening right here with like something that brings conflict into your life. I almost feel like saying there's like an easier way for you to do what you do, like in work, in business, in your career, whatever. Doesn't really matter. But I feel that there could be a much easier or better ways to do your work. And that's what I would be focusing on here. I would be focusing on kind of, like what is the more efficient way to get the results that you're getting. With the Temperance card, you have the Hermit. Yeah, it's time for you to shine your inner light. I always think of the Hermit as kind of closing off. He has this star in his lantern, and you have the star card here with the sun. The sun literally says you need to get attention on the star. So you need to get attention on the things that make you, unique, special, or successful. And so I feel it's time to like come down from the mountain. I've been getting a lot of this energy of kind of like people coming down from the mountain. He's been through dark night of the soul. He's climbed to the top of the mountain. He's learned something, but now he needs to go down and share what he has learned. Like that should be his next step, is to share the experiences and the challenges and all the stuff that he's overcome, so that he can like inspire other people. And that's what I would do there. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this thriving card and this trust card. So I think that thriving is the opportunity that exists. I feel like you could be thriving. It doesn't have to be a struggle. So I think you are bringing an end to any of the struggles that you've been experiencing, whatever that is for you. I think it's different for all of you that I'm reading for. It could be love for some of you, could be business struggles, work struggles, whatever. And I feel like you need to trust that you're kind of being led in the correct direction. I feel you need to trust the process as well. Really, I feel that you are a survivor, Leo, like, through and through. And so I feel that the trust card is saying that you've been through, challenges, you've been through things that have been very difficult. And now it's time to kind of like realize that you have survived. You have lived through things that maybe would stop other people, but it didn't stop you. And now it's time for you to like enjoy the fruits of your labor, or something like that is what this reading is saying. You have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords has her back to the past, and she's opening up to something new right here. She has her hand out to the Judgment card. So this could be you being open to like inspiration. It could be you being open to a new life as well. Like these people here, they are standing in their coffins. The coffin in the tarot represents your old life. Being outside the coffin represents your new life. And so she is like open to a new life. And I feel like that's what you're opening up to. I don't think you want to struggle anymore. I just get struggle energy here. Again, not bad, because I feel like you've learned quite a bit from the things that you've been through. But like now it's time to stop. Now it's time to stop. It's time for you to enjoy your life more. It's time for you to look for ways to do that. And it's time for you to like get more efficient. I think efficiency is pretty, for the next 10 years, that should be your word of the day, is efficiency. How can I make things more efficient, more practical, easier, on myself? And by myself, I mean you, not me. So that's what I would focus on here with the Five of Wands. It's just going to lead to faster results. The Eight of Wands, on a very simple level, is about removing friction from your life. It's like, look at your life, like where are the friction points? Where are things hard? Where are things a challenge? And where are things a struggle? And how can you learn something new? Five of Wands, learn through the struggle. How can you learn something to make it easier? How can you learn something to make your life more efficient? And the Eight of Wands is like, I look at it as the slip and slide of life. How can you make something smoother? How can you make something a slip and slide? With the Queen of Swords, I can't talk today. You have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is definitely like the wounded warrior, having been through something challenging or difficult, but he is not giving up. He still has this one wand to lean on, and he is completing his journey. So, in a lot of ways, I feel that you are about to kind of complete some sort of journey, and you're about to get a bigger result. I am not really a love reading, but I do get something about love here. Like some of you could be opening back up to love. Maybe you've been kind of like on a little bit of a break, and now you're opening back up. With the Five of Wands, you have the Five of Wands. What do you know? I really look at the Five of Wands as a card of like getting some sort of reward for the difficulties that you've been through. So whatever your challenges or difficulties are, again, there is gold in those things. I talk to so many people that, tell me about their struggle, and I'm like, okay, what did you get out of it? What did you get from that? Like there is gold in the struggle. I don't think we're meant to just like suffer for no reason. So sometimes we have to look for the gold. We have to look for the lesson that we learned. Sometimes the lesson is the gold, but once we learn those things, we never have to repeat them. So I feel this is saying, what did you get from the things that you have been through? With the Eight of Wands, you have the Ten of Wands. The whole entire row here, what's coming in for you, really says that you're about to end this long, difficult journey. His home is in the background here, and he's carrying those 10 wands, those 10 burdens, and he is about to put those burdens down. I think the Ten of Wands is a good card because, yeah, he has put in a lot of work, but the thing is that he planted those 10 wands. So that is his harvest. And now he's about to reach his home. So it's like he is about to experience his harvest. So now you've done something the hard way, is kind of like what this reading is saying. It's like you've done it the hard way, but along the journey, you've learned better ways, more efficient ways to do things. So now that you're about to do something again, with that judgment card, how can you how can you use the knowledge you've gained, hermit as well, right? He's gained a bunch of knowledge. He climbed to the top of the mountain, but now he can do it again easier, right? And so I really feel, well, actually, before I jump forward to that, you have this card that says communication is key. You have this card that says believe in the impossible. Yes. I feel that you need to believe that you're capable of doing something hard. I'm surprised that High Priestess hasn't come up here. The High Priestess is my card of like believing in the impossible. She has no roof over her head. She's also shutting out the world. There's a theory that she has her back to the world where she is sitting in that temple, and but she has no roof over her head. So it says there are no limits to what she can accomplish. And so I feel like for a lot of you that you could be accomplishing something that seems impossible for you or seems hard or something, again, like I said, where I was going with that is that with the judgment card, I kind of feel this is like you doing something again, like getting a second chance to do something in a different way. Again, the coffin would represent the old way of doing things. Outside the coffin would represent the new world, the new way of doing whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So you could be accomplishing something impossible. You could be or that seems impossible, or that seems bigger than you, which I think everyone needs to do right now. Number one, Saturn and Pisces. Number two, Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and Pisces is like the big impossible dream. Saturn says, if you put the work in, sure, you can have it. So I think everyone should have like some sort of impossible dream right now, or something that seems to be out of reach, something that's bigger than them. If you do that, you'll probably accomplish it or get pretty close. You have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, you have this card that says communication is key. If you want love, again, not really a love reading, although I do feel that there could be someone that you could be communicating with. That's literally what's popping into my head, is that you could communicate with this person. So I think it's a choice. It's like if you want love, go for it. If you don't. It's pretty simple. But I think that there could be a person that you could learn a lot from as well. So, I think it's going to be different for all of you. You all want different things. But if you want love, it's definitely here. The Page of Pentacles is also a card of education. So I really get this feeling of needing to make sure that you don't forget what you've learned. You've learned a lot on this journey that you've been on. And now it's like it's been hard. But now the second time around, whatever you're doing, it does not have to be so hard. So don't hop on the struggle bus, right? I think you've learned enough to make things more efficient, easier, better. You've come up with better ways of doing things, and you need to embrace that. You have the Three of Cups. This is like a reunion. It is kind of funny. I get this feeling of a second chance off that Judgment card, but it's not like it's almost like you're doing something again. It's almost like you launched a business in the past, you're doing it again. You had a career in the past, you're doing it again. Whatever it is, it's gonna be different for all of you. And I do kind of get more of that like second chance type of vibe off of the Three of Cups. I think it's gonna lead to a harvest. These three ladies, they are celebrating the harvest right here. These pumpkins that are growing around them. And so I feel like you are going to be celebrating harvest in the very near future here. But let's see where this is going for you, Leo. With the Judgment card, you have the Six of Swords. Moving on to calmer shores, definitely improvements. I feel like you need to trust your inner guidance. I think, I always say this, that Leos are like the most underestimated intuitives in the zodiac. So I feel like you need to trust that inner voice. It's like how many times in your life do you have to be right? Leo is always right. So I feel like you need to trust that inner voice. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Ten of Cups here. I do feel this could be love. So, but like, why do I feel like you're on the fence though, is my question. So I kind of feel like some of you are like on the fence about a person, or you're on the fence about a situation. Obviously if you're not, take it how it resonates, but Ten of Cups is like happy home, happy family, really good love card. They're very happy. They're celebrating happiness. If you don't want love, and even if you do, I do feel there's a lot of happiness coming in for you, Leo. I feel like things are kind of getting easier. Not necessarily easy. I don't think we're in an easy time, but I do feel like you're becoming more efficient, which is giving you more time to do things that could make you happy. With the Three of Cups, you have the Queen of Wands. So you start with the King of Wands. You have the Queen of Wands right here. Definitely could be a very solid love connection coming in for you if you want love. To me, the King and Queen of Wands together, they have a lot of desire for each other. So it could be very, like a relationship or a connection that has a lot of desire. You have this gazelle. It says change and purity on it. There could be a very positive change coming in for you. You have a scale that says justice and documents on it. There's something about kind of like the order that you do things or being more efficient. Maybe you need to document like how you work so that you can pay attention to what actually is working in your life and in all areas of your life. You have the switch card that says magic and curse on it. I feel like this is saying that you need to believe like in magical things. You need to believe in the impossible. Maybe you're saying like, oh, for me to start this business, something magical is going to need to happen. And I feel like you need to believe it with this card here. Start looking for proof, right? And finally, you have this groom card that says husband, marriage. There you go. If you want love, there's definitely, it doesn't have to be a husband. It could be a wife, whatever. Whatever you're into, I don't care. But I feel like there could be a very solid connection here. This looks really good. I love this reading for you. There's like a much more positive than your readings have been. So looks good. Thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.